All right, so this is going to be another reading for Sagittarius. And right away here, I'm seeing that the Sagittarius that I'm speaking to may have cut off someone in their past, possibly someone who was important to you, a close connection. And this act of cutting this person off was actually very important because it freed up space energetically and physically for you to pursue something else in your life without baggage, without anything weighing you down. With the Oracle cards, transformation, clinging to the past, and celebration, I see that you're transforming that energy of clinging to the past. You're taking whatever energies were pulling you down in the past and whatever part of you felt attached to those past energies, and you're transmuting those energies and actually changing them into some type of fuel or motivation or newer type of energy that actually propels you into your future. And for some of you, this could have been a sort of dead weight to your energy that you were putting a lot into. And it's like as soon as you stopped putting energy into this past thing, you were able to redirect that energy into yourself. With the celebration card coming out here as well, I'm seeing that it could feel like a huge relief. For many of you, this could be something that took place over many years or many months and, excuse me, and felt like it was weighing you down. Um, and now that you've kind of transformed that energy and gotten to a place where you're back in your own energy, it could feel like a huge relief. It could feel like you have a lot of space to move around. It could feel extremely joyous for many of you, extremely happy, extremely abundant. Kind of like you just want to jump up and dance around and be like, I'm free. With the overall energy to the reading being the Fool, that's quite an energy of freedom, an energy of lightness, being willing to take risks, definitely stepping into your inner child in a very positive way, a very playful way, and really having a new beginning, starting out on a new path. Now, I'm seeing that what that new path is for many of you is a lot of clarity around your career or your job prospects. There may be something that you're very excited to work towards that you're kind of just beginning to have ideas about or begin. And it's kind of like the more you step out onto this path, the more clear it becomes for you and the more exciting it becomes as you kind of put more and more pieces together. What else can we find out about what this new undertaking is for Sagittarius? Six of Pentacles, Four of Wands, the Fool. With the star at the bottom of the deck, it's kind of like things are finally falling into place for you. You may feel very balanced in your home life or your domestic world. You may be building a home with someone else, even if it's a friend or a roommate and not necessarily a partner. There could be this feeling of, wow, I finally feel balanced. I finally feel stable. For many of you, that may not have to do with your immediate physical surroundings, but it might have more to do with your inner sanctum, your inner worlds, the way that you feel about yourself, your sense of security. If there were insecurities in the past about financial issues, about just being stable in the world, maybe mental health issues, that type of thing, I see that really coming into balance for you. And with the Fool card coming out here, you may have Gemini prominently in your chart or somewhere in your life, or this could just be an energy that comes in for you as we move into Gemini season, which comes through at the end of May, moving into June. We're in Taurus season right now. So it's kind of like as we move into Gemini season, you may see even more stability, or whatever you're working on could reach a new level of stability as we move into Gemini season. So a very promising, exciting energy, and I'm really excited to dive into your reading here, Sagittarius. But before we keep going into the tarot, I just want to remind you to like and subscribe if this reading resonates with you. If you like and subscribe, it really lends your energy to my readings and helps me manifest and co-create this reading with you. I'm really just channeling these messages for you, but it's your energy that calls on them. So the more energy that you give to the channel, the more I'm able to work with you and create messages that you need to hear, and work with spirit to do so. I also offer personal readings. If that's something that you're interested in, you can email me. My email's in the description box, and we can give you a highly personalized reading, which I always love to do. But let's dive into the tarot here. Let's see what happened in the recent past with this connection that was in your life. Let's take a look at the Two of Cups. Some of you, this could have been an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Doesn't necessarily have to be. Whatever happened to your Sagittarius, you're showing me that in order for you to fully love yourself, you had to move on from this connection. And I'm seeing that you cut it off, and it may have been a head over heart decision. There was definitely an element of you consciously deciding to leave here, even if the other person decided to leave as well. There was this feeling of, in order to put myself first, I have to cut off this connection. Well, it tells me that it could have been toxic in some way, or it could have just been some of that dead weight that was holding you back. And at some point, this became really clear here. Let's take a look at the other energy involved. They're coming up as the King of Wands, which is a pretty player type energy, kind of non-committal in some ways, possibly kind of impulsive, very fiery sort of energy. Let's take a look at the King of Wands. They were definitely acting from a place of impulsivity, from a place of possibly being a little bit mature, of not really thinking things through very clearly with the Page of Swords. They didn't maybe have all the information that they needed to make informed decisions here, or maybe they just were literally younger than you, or just coming through very immature, not very thoughtful, very impulsive, kind of just manifesting from a place of, this is how I feel, so I'm going to do it. It almost comes through like I'm hearing like a dog in a certain way, of like dogs just feel a certain way and then they do that thing and they don't really think, you know. And that's how this person comes through, of like, well, what's wrong with doing this thing if it's how I feel? They seem to be someone who could have been ruled by their emotions. Like if they feel a certain way, they may not be open to kind of challenging that feeling with logic. And so they come through as the Page of Swords, and you come through as the Queen of Swords. So you come through definitely more mature, more logical, practical, realistic, wanting to make the best choice, and kind of wanting to reason with this person who maybe couldn't really be reasoned with at all. Let's take a look at your energy with the Queen of Swords. Ten of Cups, Four of Swords, Eight of Swords. There could have been this feeling of being stuck between a rock and a hard place, of, you know, why can't everything just be simpler? Like, it doesn't need to be this hard, but at the same time, there could have been some hard decisions at play. There could have been a feeling of this person, again, making you feel really anxious or very stressed out, and kind of trying to figure out, you know, how can I create a more relaxing life for myself, and one where I feel happy. This may have been a connection that asked you to go really deeply into asking yourself, what would it look like for me to feel relaxed and, you know, abundant and feeling good and happy? What would it look like for me to kind of have my wish fulfillment? And there could have been a certain kind of struggle in terms of understanding that this person wasn't going to be able to go to that place with you. They may not have been able to not just provide that wish fulfillment for you, but to actually step into that energy with you. It's almost like you realize that you were just going to have to step away from this energy because they weren't going to be able to come to that next level with you in your life. And that could have been really stressful for you with the Eight of Swords. It could have been something that maybe you didn't want to do, but you knew you had to do. I definitely see you making a head over heart decision here, because you may have cared for this person and you may have wanted them to come with you into your life. They definitely seem like a passionate kind of energy, but it triggered you into taking a deeper and more logical look at what it is that would actually be best for you long term. And I'm seeing that ultimately, you know, you had to move on from this connection. In the current energy, I see you really kind of cutting out anything that isn't working for you at all. This may have just been the tip of the iceberg or just one sort of part of your life that led you to also cutting out other things that weren't fitting for you. So maybe you realized that this person wasn't working for you, that their energy wasn't aligning for you, and you also realized, okay, I need to cut out these friends that I have who aren't really providing me the emotional fulfillment that I need. Or maybe you realized you're not happy at work either, so you changed your job, or you realized you needed to move out of your city, so you moved to a different city. Something like that, where it's kind of like a domino effect I'm hearing of one domino fell down, one thing, closed out, and then you realize, okay, I actually have to close out these other things, and you're kind of in this process right now of moving forward into the next thing. And as you move forward into the next thing, there could be a little bit of a question on your mind of what is it that's next, what is my life path, what am I supposed to commit myself to, because it's almost like you've opened up all this space and not all of that space has been filled with new things or new energies, and so you could be a little bit confused or a little bit wondering what's coming next. For some of you, it's become clear you begin to have some new ideas, some new feelings, maybe that there are specific things coming in for you, specific ideas. At this point, I see them more as seeds for you rather than like fully fleshed out concepts and experiences, but you're definitely picking up on the seeds of new fruits, you could say, as you open up more and more, and as you kind of release yourself of this past, there's a lot more of that celebratory energy. And I'm really hearing that for whoever is in that celebratory energy, it's really that happiness that kind of fuels you, that opens you up, and that magnetizes new energies into your life and new experiences and new opportunities. So the more you can step into that happy, lighter, joyful energy, the more you're going to be met with that energy from the universe. Let's take a look at the Four of Cups in the current energy for what it is that you're rejecting at this time. Anything that feels fickle, anything that feels light, if it feels like it's not fully going to be able to show up to you or commit to you or match your energy, because you're showing me an energy of whatever I do next, I'm going to be clear about it, I'm going to be committed to it, I'm going to build it from the ground up, I'm going to put my resources into it, whatever it is, even if it's emotional, if it's spiritual, if it's not necessarily something material. I'm seeing that you're rejecting those casual sort of encounters, those wishy-washy kind of uncommitted flaky energies, and those could be in other people, or they could just be in opportunities that maybe don't seem like they can support you the way that you need to be supported. And as you do that, you really manifest yourself moving forward towards new things. And so it can be really important at this time to make space so that something else can come in. So if you find that you get an opportunity or you meet another person who doesn't fit your standards or who doesn't match your frequency, it's actually very important that you do reject those things, because there could be something better coming along just around the corner, and it's important that you have space to meet those better things that are more suited for you. That's kind of where your free will comes in, and sometimes you are manifesting by turning something else down, which we don't always talk about. It's not always just creating something or taking opportunities. It's also turning down the wrong opportunities. Now, with the Wheel of Fortune and the Tower at the bottom of the deck, with the Magician in the center of your reading, I see that there's a lot of big changes that are about to come for you. And with the Ace of Cups at the bottom of the deck as well, these are things that could come in with a lot of abundance and very quickly and very suddenly. Possibly in Leo season with the Strength card here, so that's July, August. As you move into those summer energies and you kind of meet the sunshine with your own sunshine, I see you manifesting a lot of abundance that you may not even be expecting or fully aware of at this time. Let's take a look at the Magician in the center of your reading for what it is that you're manifesting right now as we speak. Seven of Cups, Three of Wands, the Chariot. You're just manifesting a lot of things, a lot of different energies. You may have to be discerning as you move forward on your path. Is this working for me? Is this not working for me? You may have such a strong manifesting energy that you actually bring in opportunities that you love, opportunities that you don't like, opportunities that are definitely not for you, and opportunities that you get to decide, am I going to make this into something big and good, or is it not going to work out for me? And some of those things may be smoke and mirrors, and others of those things may be things that you end up committing to along your path. But it's actually a big part of your path that you come to a lot of different types of opportunities, and that you kind of have your choice, you have your pick. Let's take a look at the Six of Swords for where you're going here. Five of Pentacles, the Devil, the Queen of Wands. As you move forward, there could be a lot of fear around, am I going to be stable? Am I going to be secure? Many of you could feel like you're on uneven ground, or like sometimes things are really stable for you and other times things are really not stable. It could feel like your energy kind of vacillates a lot and goes back and forth. But I'm just seeing that as you move forward, there's a lot of fear because you're stepping into territories that are completely new for you, and you're stepping into energies that are completely new for you. You may be in spaces or rooms with people that are unlike the spaces and rooms you've ever been in before. And as you kind of move into this completely new energy, even though you're celebrating, the closing out of the past cycles and the past, you're also coming up pretty fearful about what it could look like in the future to not know. And there's a little bit of a message here to really truly let go and just fully trust. In the Fool card, you have this person kind of about to step off the edge of the cliff, almost as though they're about to just see what happens when they fall. And maybe they'll fly, and maybe they'll fall, maybe they'll end up falling deep into a trampoline that then pops them back up. Like, you really don't know what's going to happen. And in this card, we just see a snapshot of that moment before the fall. And I think that's where you are right now, Sagittarius. You're kind of in this energy of coming to the universe and asking, okay, what are you going to give back to me, or what's going to happen next, And it's really about stepping into the abundance and the positivity of what could possibly happen next, rather than the fear around what if everything kind of goes wrong. And that's sort of the challenge that many of you may have presented to you. There may be a tendency to overthink certain opportunities, or say, what can I get out of this? What's in it for me type of thing. And really you want to kind of come a bit more from a heart-centered perspective that isn't as full of fear, that's more full of abundance and hope and positivity, because that's really going to help you usher in the new experiences that you're looking for, especially if you are feeling kind of unclear about what's going to happen next. It's very important that you try to recenter and come from a more positive, less scared place, which I think you're going to be very capable of with that celebration card coming out for you. But just every now and then you might feel a certain sense of anxiety around what's going to happen next. But with the Temperance card at the bottom of the deck, I'm seeing that, there could be divine timing at play, or something going on within, the universe, within spirit, where spirit is actually meant to be like a river that kind of moves you along your path, rather than something that you really have to control or make a certain way. And if you try to insert your energy into these opportunities in a controlling sort of way, or like needing to guarantee a certain outcome, you could actually move further away from your heart space and further away from your path. So just try to focus on releasing control when it comes to how you see what's coming up for you. I see a lot of happiness coming in for you, but that happiness also has to do with endings and healing these older energies. And so it really comes down to working with your heart space and actually working with those heart energies. Do you feel connected to your emotions? Do you feel connected to your feelings? Do you feel connected to love and joy and positivity? And if not, what needs to happen to get you into that place? What needs to be healed, right? There could be a little bit of struggle with that. But the more that you allow yourself to kind of release and move through those energies, the more I see you kind of balancing out as well. I'm sensing that you may need some reassurance. So what reassurance can we give Sagittarius about moving into the future? The universe is going to bring you abundance, and abundance is just going to come in for you on a level that you haven't experienced yet. The more you cling to the old ways, the less you're going to be able to step into the new and receive that abundance. And that abundance is coming. For many of you, it could be within finances, specifically within job or career opportunities. With others of you, it could just be more support in your personal life, like more people showing up to support you. And that's going to shift, and it's manifesting in your current energy. So it's coming for you, no matter what. But it's also about, like we've been talking about in recent readings, you kind of going and meeting those energies and just trusting that you're on your path, trusting in the process, and understanding that that cutting out that you did in the recent past was actually very crucial in order for these new manifestations to come in. So you've actually done quite a bit for yourself in terms of setting the stage for whatever's coming next, and you may not even realize that you have already completed sort of half the work in that way. Let's take a look at the near future for Sagittarius. Eight of Pentacles, Seven of Cups, the Hierophant. I see you working pretty hard on a number of different commitments. As these opportunities come in for you, I see you kind of snatching them up out of the air and saying, yes, I got this. I know what my path is going to be. And the more you work on each thing, I'm hearing step by step or bird by bird. It's like, just take one thing at a time, and as you do that, each thing is going to stack up into a sort of larger cumulative energy of commitment and solidity and foundation. That's going to feel really positive for you, I think, and it's going to keep you kind of busy. But that's part of your path, is moving with the changes, feeling the happiness of each one, feeling the happiness of each opportunity, and really staying present for each step of the journey. Yeah, you're really in this phase of this ending, moving forward, and then kind of reflecting on all of that in such a way that it makes you stronger and it helps you kind of move forward from a much more healed place. And so if you've gone internally to evaluate that or to look at that part of yourself, that's a really important part of you moving forward. And many of you could have been there in the past, or you're there currently, and that is going to be kind of your launching place or your springboard for all these opportunities that are coming in that look very positive for you. So that's what I have for you, Sagittarius. I hope this helps. I hope it resonated, and I'll see you next time.